those who are not aware, Monique, she's an actress, comedian. The first time I was aware of her, there was a show called The Parkers, and it was her and an actress. I think her name was Countess Vaughn. She was Moesha's friend on the sitcom Moesha. And anyway, The Parkers, it was a sitcom. It was pretty funny, pretty entertaining show. And Monique is a great actress, I think, in my opinion. She went on to do a movie called Precious, and that's where a lot of this begins. Now, you guys know that Tyler Perry has had his issues, or people have had their issues with him in the entertainment business. People have claimed he didn't pay the money that he was supposed to pay them. People have claimed that he sexually harassed them. You know, the stories just keep on coming. But Monique, her story still, you know, she still maintains it till this day. She has not changed her story, and she is still fighting for what is owed to her. And Monique has been very public about this, that billionaire Tyler Perry and billionaire Oprah Winfrey screwed her over. This is no different from when Taraji P. Henson said they screwed her over. I don't know. Sounds like a connection, don't you think? So this is where this all began, because Monique is still talking about it and people are like, just let it go. I really don't think she should let it go. So let's get into like how this all started. So there was Monique back in the day, Tyler Perry back in the day. And we're going to get into this. There was a movie called Precious, and it's interesting how all these pieces are connected, right? So it was Precious, the movie that kind of kicked things off. Low budget movie. Mariah Carey was in the movie. So, you know, going into it as low budget, you're not going to make a lot of money, right? So Monique was fine with that. She understood that she wasn't going to be paid, you know, a lot of money. She was passionate about the project, and that's why she wanted to do it. Interestingly enough, the girl on the thumbnail here for Precious, who is Precious, went on to star also in Empire. Empire was directed, produced by Lee Daniels. Lee Daniels is also a part of the Precious thing. So I don't know. It just seems like there seems to be a big connection here when we look at everything. During this project, apparently, it seems as though Tyler Perry started to put this rumor out into the Hollywood industry that Monique was difficult to work with. Now, the first time I heard this, I'm like, well, where have we heard this before? We heard this about Terrence Howard with the Iron Man project. You'll notice Terrence Howard was in the first Iron Man movie, but he wasn't in the second one or the third, like after that. And people ask, what happened to Terrence Howard? Why is Don Cheadle in Terrence Howard's role? Well, the press ran with the rumor that Terrence Howard was difficult to work with. So when I hear this whole people are difficult to work with thing, I don't know. I just get a little, a little suspicious. I'm like, we got to find out why you think that they're so difficult. So it goes on to say here, I just want to explain to people what happened. After filming rap for the movie Precious, where Oprah Winfrey and Tyler Perry served as executive producers, Monique received a request to embark on a press tour to promote the film. The original Queens of Comedy performer agreed to appear in a promotional interview and talk shows, but refused to fly out to attend the Cannes Film Festival in France. Now, Monique claims that producers urged her to promote the film at the prestigious event, though they explained that her appearance would be unpaid, as it was not part of her original contract for the film. So, in other words, she would have to fund this herself. I mean, France is not cheap. Like a trip to France isn't going to be cheap. And you just finished filming a low budget movie and you weren't paid much for that anyway. And now they're asking you to pay to send yourself to France. Mind you, Oprah and Tyler are billionaires. Let's continue though. So Monique refused to attend and later issued a statement to the Hollywood Reporter expressing her frustration with the producers. I'm doing a talk show. I'm doing a comedy tour. I have a husband and I have babies. I have a little bit of downtime and I'm going to take advantage of it. So I'm not going anywhere because I'm not obligated to go anywhere. And that's what started everything. From that moment, she appears to have become blackballed in the industry. Now, you'll go on to see it here. After Monique frustrated Tyler Perry and other producers of Precious, she claims her career suffered, and they labeled her with a scarlet letter of being difficult to work with. In the years following the inception of this feud, Monique says Precious director Lee Daniels has personally expressed regret regarding the way producers have treated her. However, Oprah and Tyler Perry have refused to publicly apologize. So I just see patterns. Taraji P. Henson spoke out about the treatment on the set of the remake of The Color Purple, which I don't think that should have ever happened, but here we are. And she said that not only was she underpaid, she said the trailers were a mess, etc. I guess the food was bad, all these things. And again, Oprah and Tyler are billionaires. So, like I told you guys before, people become billionaires because they exploit the people who are under them. That's how they get there. Now, you guys got all these billions, but you can't give people decent food. You can't give them the salaries that they should get paid. And Oprah and Tyler have been known to move in such ways. So people that decided to speak out about it, it seems as though there seems to be this trend of Tyler Perry making it so that they are blacklisted in Hollywood. They put out the message that you are difficult to work with, and the next thing you know, they stop getting gigs. Coincidence? I think not. Monique claims to have an audio recording of Tyler Perry taken in 2022, in which the House of Pain creator agrees to mend fences and admits his wrongdoings publicly, though Perry seems to have never followed through on that promise. During her Club Shay Shay appearance, Monique explained that she sent the audio recording to controversial civil rights leader Al Sharpton, who agreed to step in and mediate a public discussion between them. Yeah, so that never happened. One thing I will say, I think it was a bad idea to send that to Al Sharpton of all people. But I think she was just trying to get the message out there. Now, we are bringing this up because she just did another interview. People are telling Monique that she needs to drop this and let this go, that she needs to stop, asking Tyler Perry to admit what he did. Why is she continuing to drag this on? And this is what she had to say. Let's listen to this here.
One of the biggest entertainers in the world is Tyler Perry. And Tyler Perry told a lie on me. And that lie cost me 12 years of my career. 12. And I know that you work for that man. But as I told you before, and I'm going to say it again, until he fixes it, I will not stop, because that's how the monster is created. We're too afraid. We're too scared. We're too fearful that you're going to take something from me. So I'm just not going to say anything. Harvey Weinstein is where? He's in jail. Now that's been going on for decades.
So you see this? So she was basically punished because she said something. I don't believe that Monique and Taraji P. Henson are the only ones that have had this treatment. I think they're the only ones that spoke up. And I believe that others are being quiet because they don't want to be blacklisted. And this is how the mistreatment continues, right? This is how Tyler Perry remains a billionaire and everybody else gets scraps that works underneath of him. And then some people will say, well, why not go work for another producer? Or why try to work with Tyler Perry? Because he has basically created a lane where some of those people probably wouldn't even get the opportunity if they try to audition, or they do audition for other films, other producers. They're not getting that opportunity. Tyler Perry was the one that kind of opened up that door and saying, I'm going to give you an opportunity, knowing that other people are not, right? So then he gets you in there. Now you're kind of up under his umbrella. And now it's like, he doing you dirty, but if you say something about it, he may make it so that you're blacklisted in Hollywood and you can't get any more gigs, just like Monique, and people got bills to pay. So I always said, I think Monique was brave for speaking out. I think she made it possible for people like Taraji to stand up.
But everybody said, let it go. Don't say nothing, which allowed that man to do more damage to women over the decades. As long as I can help it, I'm saying, Tyler Perry, you will not do this to another, as long as I can help it, because you told a lie. And you feel like you have the God complex, so I ain't got to fix it. Either you'll fix it in life or you'll be dealt with in death.
So she said that he has a God complex. So ego. And it happens sometimes when people start doing very well, like Tyler Perry, when he started making some of his movies early on, like Why Did I Get Married? I thought was pretty good. Diary of a Mad Black Woman, I thought was pretty good. But then I noticed he stuck to the same theme. You know, black woman gets hurt, abused, used, finds a light-skinned guy, everything works out. It was just like the same thing over and over. Black woman gets hurt and abused and yada yada, right? So I think his earlier works were better. And then as time went by, it seemed like he became more focused on quantity instead of quality. And that's when things, I think, started to go down. So I think that because he was able to build his own studio, that was a big deal. I remember when that happened. Because he became a billionaire, yeah, I think that went to his head. I do think that Tyler Perry has an ego. I think Oprah has an ego too. So you got two people with big ass egos and they're both billionaires. And it's kind of stomp on people. And then when you call them out, you know, because everybody's like, oh, don't talk about Oprah, our beloved Oprah. Then when you say something, you call them out for what they've done. You're the problem. You're the one that is blacklisted. I guess Tyler Perry's apology to Taraji P. Henson was featuring her as the star in the movie. What is it? From Scratch or whatever that movie we're talking about? Snapped, something like that. You guys know what I'm talking about. It seems like for me that was his way of apologizing. Oh, you got to give people what they're owed. And if you owe people money, you got to pay people money. And now we didn't have multiple people now that had come forward and said Tyler Perry did them dirty monetarily. And Monique is not willing to let it go. Straw. Thank you. See, I couldn't even remember the name. But you got to pay people what they're owed.
It's totally up to you. But I'm not going nowhere. Oprah, I'm not going anywhere until y'all take accountability and fix it. Y'all messed with my livelihood, which messes with my family. Never would I do that to anyone. So until they fix it, I won't back down.
Well, let me ask you, what does fixing it look like to you?
You see what Lee Daniels did?
Mm-hmm.
That man walked out on that stage publicly. See, you publicly shamed me.
So her response is, until Tyler Perry fixes this, she's not going away. In other words, Tyler Perry owes Monique a public apology, which he has not done. And, I don't even think he's going to do, but you can't fault her for still bringing it up. She was done wrong. And let me tell you something. Monique is from Baltimore. You know, my family's from Baltimore too. Monique is from Baltimore. Be more women don't play. You screw one of us over. We're kind of not going to let that go. Kind of not going to let it go, you know? So yeah, Monique had to fight to get to where she is. And she's not backing down from it.
You publicly shamed me. So now you have to publicly fix it. Tyler Perry, you cost my family millions and millions and millions of dollars. And it is a beautiful thing when you tip somebody $3,000. It's a beautiful thing when you give somebody $400,000 because their house burned down. Those are good deeds. However, you know what you did to a black woman named Monique. So all of that, the universe is watching and saying, okay, we see what you're trying to do, but you can't fool us. And I don't believe I'm the only one.
No.
Of course not. You don't do that to somebody and it be your first time. You don't, because you're too comfortable in doing it. And when you get that God complex, the universe is watching everything.
And this is kind of their way of fixing it, right? Well, I donated money to such and such. I bought someone a house. I bought someone a car. That doesn't change the fact that you still haven't apologized for what you did to Monique. So yeah, you cost her a lot of money. You cost her roles. You know, you see how people do you dirty. And this is the thing. People might look at it like, well, Tyler Perry's black and Monique is black. Like, why can't they just work it out? People do you dirty. Hollywood or Hollyweird, whatever they call it nowadays, is a dirty, dirty place from what I understand. And people I know that have moved out there to try to get something started. A dirty, dirty place. So just because they're both black doesn't mean that he's going to be good to her. Okay? He looking out for himself.
Fixing it means you apologize publicly, and you cost my family millions.
So it's you want to. I don't want to put words in your mouth.
Mhm.
I just deciphering. You want a public apology and you want restitution.
Yes. And I say that unapologetically. You are on tape saying what you did to me was wrong. You are on tape. That's your voice, Tyler Perry. You called us. We didn't call you. You said what he did to me was wrong, and he was going to fix it when his movie Boo came out. When did Boo come out? 2016. We are now in 2025, and you've not fixed that. You've not fixed it.
And see, Monique keeps up with dates, which I think is great. She keeps up with dates. Yeah, man. That's something that Tyler Perry needs to fix. And I think Monique will talk to whoever will listen, right? About the situation. Like, why should she let it go? So yeah, it's come to this. And people are saying, they're like, why is she still talking about this all these years later? Because she wants what is owed to her. I don't know, man. I don't know. I do think ego is a part of this, but honestly, I think that Tyler Perry made a lot of money for himself, and I think he's looking out for himself. And for the people pointing their fingers at Monique saying, okay, just let it go. Okay, but if she lets it go, who's going to really stand up to him, though? She lets it go. Nobody else is going to want to stand up to him. That's the thing. So I sincerely hope that this is resolved and that she does get what is owed to her, because there's a debt, something that's owed there. You screwed her over, and that is owed. Hey guys, this was a Sabby clip. If you like what you saw, hit that like button and subscribe.